Hey everyone, Randolph here, and click here to go to the actual video. Anyway, it's Christmas time. You know what that means. Red Rim Reviewers time. So you may have guessed that this isn't a Christmas themed topic I'm covering. Well, to be honest, it wouldn't have. But I've decided to spend this holiday season with hopefully 2 videos of things that I love throughout my life. In this case, Pokemon. If you read the title, you probably have a lot of hate for me right now. Amazing that you went this far. Oh well, I'll dig my grave while you watch the video. And of course, check out the Red Rim Reviewers WordPress site and the many others who are taking part in this little tradition, as well as my past entries. Anyway, I got a grave to dig. Enjoy! Hey everyone, Randolph here, and yeah, this is a Pokemon video, so obviously I needed a good avatar. Wait, probably need a Pokemon as well. There we go. Oh, wait, that Pokemon is probably already used. Okay, no, I know Azora. Now I feel more prepared for this kind of video. Fuck it. Pokemon! Yeah, nothing new can be said about this franchise. It's a massive sensation and in the top 3 of Nintendo's franchises, and it hits its 20th anniversary. It's one of the few franchises that have a sort of community on YouTube. Seriously, I was poking fun earlier, but it's creepy how many Pokemon-centered YouTubers there are and how similar they can be. From editing styles to thumbnails to overall presentation. One thing many fans on the internet hate in the Pokemon community, in and out of YouTube, is Genwunners. The group of people who hates anything Pokemon related after Pokemon Yellow, i.e. the first generation, for little to no good reasons. Or, in my experience, whenever people point out any flaws in later gens and are labeled as such. And yeah, everyone is willing to state their issue with Gen 1ers and many problems Gen 1 had overall, so I'm going to do the opposite. I'll state a few flaws the later gens have and point out some strengths in Gen 1, since the only universal pro that everyone gives it is that it's what started this whole franchise in the first place. Oh boy, with that kind of praise, I can't see why anyone would talk down about it. And I'll try to leave anything that would be a flaw due to it being an added feature, i.e. focus on stuff like the Pokemon Theater or contests or whatever. Plus, and I'm stressing this one, I know little to nothing about Gen 4 since I haven't played those games as of making this video. So if Gen 4 is this or that, I wouldn't know for sure. I'm focusing on Gens 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 since I feel like I should only comment on stuff that I've experienced. Same with Gen 7 since at the time of recording, it's still about a month away. And as the Pokemon community always say, give a thumbs down, leave a comment on how much I suck and blinded by nostalgia, and share this with others so they can do the same. Not sure if I did that right. Whatever, let's do this. Issue 1. The challenge of getting certain Pokemon and getting free gift Pokemon in-game. I might as well start with some small issues before getting to the really big ones. Now I'm not talking about normal Pokemon catch rate and all that, no. What I mean is that the way of catching legendaries. At first with something like Mewtwo for example, there's a big mystery to him with the hint of the guy near the cave and the Bird Down Mansion with the journal entries on Cinnabar Island. Then, at least as of Gen 3, they were more involved within the story, so it became easier to know where to get them. Which, while I don't have a problem with, the issue is how to catch them. As of Gen 5, you encounter the legendary during the story and can catch them at that moment. With that, their catch rate is said to be lowered, and if you cause them to faint, you can try again. Going back to Mewtwo and legendaries, at least up to Rayquaza, it was the most difficult fight you had in the game, and if you made them faint, that's it. Reload the last save and try again. Overall, it just feels like less of a big deal when you need to capture them to finish the story.
What? 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 Holy, what the heck? Dude, what the heck? There's no action replay for this game yet anyway, so anything I do is legit. But what the heck?
Another thing is that it feels like the games give you more free Pokemon as gifts throughout the story. Now it's not that much of a problem, but it feels like less of a challenge when you get one of the Panline Pokemon in black and white just to get past the first gym, or to get Lapras to use Surf in Gen 6. The biggest offense to me is that when you get Lucario in X and Y, yet before you can capture a Ryola in the wild and evolve it into a Lucario. Hell, that happened to me during my first playthrough. At least you can't get a Lapras in the wild from what I've known, and it is hard to get a Panline Pokemon in the original Black and White. There's a bit more like getting the Kanto stars in X and Y, but it's not so much a big deal overall, especially when it's post-game Pokemon gifts. It has been a thing in the past, hence why it's not really major, especially in Yellow. But it just feels like the gift Pokemon are much more easily accessible nowadays. Issue 2. The games have a hand-holding problem. As each generation pops up, it seems that the games develop a hand-holding problem. It started with explain the plot, then throw them out into the world to show them damn near everything they need to know. For example, it was optional to learn about catching Pokemon via the old man in Gen 1. Then in Gen 3, we learned via helping out Wally, weird to do so since you probably already caught a few Pokemon at this point, to basically learning right before or just after getting Pokeballs in Generation 5. Now I don't have a problem with hand-holding in games, but it has to be to a point. Since Pokemon has simple gameplay, it's just annoying to pick up a new game and keep learning how to catch Pokemon or anything else like that. Either have different difficulty settings, or a way to bypass that section for returning trainers. Overall, with stuff like this and the challenge of getting certain Pokemon like stated before, it just feels like they're making these games easier and easier, to the point that Sun and Moon has to label moves as super effective or not so effective while battling previously encountered Pokemon, caught or not. I mean, seriously? I know it's hard to see, but kids are not this stupid. Well, at least I hope not. Number 3. Issues with later Pokemon, and this is one incentive that led me to make this video. Now I'm not saying that any Pokemon shouldn't exist or whatever, nor trashing on overused examples like Vanilla Ice or Trubbish. I never really truly cared about this kind of stuff. They're stupid, but hey, it's Pokemon. For every cool design, there are stupid ones. I'm saying that there are weird terms for Pokemon, especially for Gens 5 and 6, where one game has a shit ton of Pokemon, but a bunch of them only remind you of previous generations, and the other doesn't have a lot of new ones, but they are very creative. I know it's odd, but here's what I meant. Gen 5 has more than Gen 1, only by 4 with 155, but you can't help but be reminded of past Pokemon with most of them, and this is mostly by concept and traits. Tell me if you heard of these before. 2 one-off Pokemon that are rivals in nature. A small cub that turns into a lean-built, intimidating bear. A Pokemon that can be mistaken as a Pokeball. A pink healing type that's linked with Nurse Joy in the anime. 2 rival bug types that you get in the beginning, and one turns into something beautiful, while the other is more monstrous. A water type Pokemon line that starts with a tadpole. A psychic Pokemon line revolving on dreams. 2 Pokemon based on a fighting style, and etc. Yeah, there are some that are just out there, but it seems odd that a lot of Pokemon in this one generation can remind you of past gen Pokemon. And no, I'm not even counting the traditional bunch, i.e. Bird, Rodent, and Pikachu clone. And no, it's not because, oh, another bird and another bear, ripple. On the contrary. For example, the Navern line and the Swoobat line. Both bats like Zubat, but the Woobats are pretty much Gen 5 Zubat, while Nibat and Nivern have enough differences in design to make them stand out. Similar example with the Beartic line and the Panguru line. Pancham and Panguru have some unique look and design compared to Cubchoo and Beartic, which look like an ice type, or even a Lola form of Teddy Ursula and Ursaring. Speaking of Gen 6, I love the amount of creativity in many of its Pokemon designs and concepts, but it's kinda on the flip side of Gen 5. A lot of sweet designs, but it only has 71 Pokemon, the lowest amount in one generation. At least it makes sense due to the focus on Mega Evolutions, but it does make it hard for people like me who want region exclusive Pokemon teams. And it's hard since you'll find like 3 past gen Pokemon for each one, maybe 2 Gen 6 Pokemon in each route after the first real route. So it's either a ton of familiar Pokemon, or a handful of creative ones. And with Alola forms being a thing in Gen 7, hopefully there will be enough completely new Pokemon. Issue 4. No real incentive on beating the gyms, let alone the Elite Four. What do I mean by this? Well, it feels like the games are beginning to be more about experiencing the story, whether good or bad, which is one of the core aspects of any Pokemon game far back. One of the things I like about the new gens are the different designs for the gyms, so it's odd when it feels like you're just there to beat the gym leader so you can move on with the story. And sometimes the creativity of the gyms are forgotten. In Red and Blue, while the gyms were very simple, it feels like more of a challenge overall since the Elite Four were calling out trainers in the beginning. Now if the stories were good, I wouldn't mind as much, especially in Black and White where the gym leaders were participating in the story, but I feel like it's becoming an afterthought. Hell, people were guessing if there were going to be gyms in Sun and Moon since the gyms in X and Y were just there. So it's like this, either you're here for the story, especially if it's good, but being held back by the gyms, the Elite Four, and the champion, or you're there to be the best via beating gyms, the Elite Four, and the champion, and being held back because you have to do story crap. Hell, in Black and White 2, your rival specifically said that he'll wait for you to beat the final gym, stopping all progress of finding Team Plasma just for me to get the last badge.
What are our priorities here? Like, are we trying to get the DNA splicers, or am I trying to get my gym badge? Isn't Team Plasma about to take over the world? Should that be our main concern? No, first I'm gonna get my gym badge, whatever.
Yeah, you can say that about Gen 1 in a way, but it kinda works since Team Rocket's boss is the last gym leader, and your rival is the champion when you get to the end. Plus the simple story of just being the best in Kanto and better than your rival works here. And how can you be the best? By beating gyms and the Elite Four. Plus Team Rocket isn't here with some big world-threatening schemes or some crap like that. They're just some people messing around, especially compared to later teams. It feels like a good balance of these three central aspects of pretty much any Pokemon game. While Black and White, for example, has a good story and it does come together when Team Plasma interrupts you during the Pokemon League, story-wise, why would you go fight the gyms while Team Plasma is a threat? I get testing your might, but by the time Team Plasma stole from the museum, wouldn't it be just a waste of the gym leader's time to wait around to battle some kid instead of having as many resources as possible tracking them down? Overall, they just need to find a better balance with gyms and such. And Issue 5. The rivals are not really rivals. Yes, this one everyone agrees on. Personally, I can tolerate a lot of the flaws I've stated before, but this one is hard to take for the most part. Most other issues I've discussed are usually in 1 or 2 games, but this is a recurring issue throughout each game past Gen 2. Gen 1 and 2 had actual rivals, people you want to beat in battle. Blue, or Green, was a snot-nosed brat that put you down constantly, and Silver, yeah, people who make countdown videos really think that Blue is one of the most disliked characters in gaming, then they forgot Silver. No joke. Blue may have been a brat, but you gotta remember, he's still a kid. Silver stole his first Pokemon and assaulted you in almost every counter with him. Honestly, Silver is probably one of the biggest dicks in Pokemon that is not a straight up villain, i.e. Region Team. But honestly, that's what makes both of them interesting. Both become better people in the end, their attitudes towards you improved. Blue becomes a more mature trainer as the game progresses to the point that it is believable that he becomes a gym leader in Gen 2, and Silver's better with his Pokemon, which he treated poorly as well, hence why his Golbat evolves into a Crobat. So what are the rivals like after these two? They became the dreaded let's be friends from the get-go rivals. From May/Brandon to Serena/Calum and the Useless Trio, they all want to be your friend and mostly just there to boost your ego when you beat their asses. In some cases, it's slightly different, like Hugh or Chiran, who are battling for power, just that Hugh battles you just to make sure you're strong enough to help him defeat the risen Team Plasma, and Chiran just to see how far he is. Oh, but there's Wally, who has a bit of confidence problems and an illness. and you have to beat them every time. Woohoo! Anyway, without much tension and a friendly attitude, they're no more than normal trainers that you have to battle over and over again. Shown even more since Blue and Silver are the only ones that have a rival trainer class, while everyone else has a regular Pokemon trainer class. They're pretty much considered battle buddies and rivals. Really, what adds to this is, once again, the shifting focus in the games. Like I said before, Gen 1 had a good average for the main points of the game, challenging gyms in the Elite Four, fighting off the regional team, and battling your rival. Gen 2 did this as well, not as good in my opinion, but it was okay. Maybe because the regional teams became the rule/destroy the world types, rather than a group fucking things up for selfish reasons. With the bigger threat of world-wrecking teams, the focus on the other two main points are pushed aside. I stated before that the gyms in the Elite Four feel like an afterthought now, and it's true with the rivals, having them shoved aside or toned down to the level of battle buddies. I'd get it if they were more active with stopping the regional teams like Hugh, but for the most part, they're doing their own thing and are mostly out of the fight. All in all, I'd say just find a way to make the rivals better. Make them someone to hate again, or at least have some traits to them that would make anyone want to beat them rather than just go, ugh, not this guy again. Well, let's get this over with. So those were some flaws Gens 2 through 6 had, and some praise for Gen 1. Now does this mean that Gen 1 is flawless? Fuck no. Anyone knows that it's not. Gen 1 has plenty of issues of its own, gameplay-wise or not, that many other people state. Just type Pokemon Gen 1 problems, and you'll get list after list, good or bad. I'm just saying that even with its own issues, it's doing some things better than the newer gens, and these newer gens, while they have their own strengths, they do have issues, some barely, if at all, mentioned. We all have preferences for favorite gens, I know I do, and I hope to share mine soon, but each has their own ups and downs. Just remember that no gen so far is perfect. But just have fun collecting Pokemon, battling them, raising them, trading them, whatever. That's what it's all about, having fun. Anyway, thanks for watching, and take care guys.